Hello, I'm TheZOMBIEJ, video number 2 for today. And I've got some tea. Alright, so the last video I just posted, I talked about the 5 BrickLink designer programs, series 7 sets that are being released this year. Or have been released this year. I don't know. Probably not. Well, we're going to talk about the BrickLink designer program itself. It's flawed. Here's the thing. The BrickLink designer program generally just focuses on builders and the builds that BrickLink themselves and LEGO, who owns BrickLink, think are more valid and worth their time than creators, builders like Sakota, who of course did the Legend of the Bionicle set, you know, the one that never got through. They want to focus on, you know, everyone else, basically. You know, they're basically like, fuck this Bionicle nonsense, we're just going to focus on other things. Other things that are actually worth our time than something that is toxic and the kids don't like it. Fuck you, LEGO. Here's the thing. Sakota released, well, wanted to, basically submitted this set, and it was going to be, you know, supported. People were supporting it. Then the price was revealed, and then people basically pulled support because they weren't going to pay from that much. People were like, think, Sakota, think. You know, I don't remember how much the price was. It was definitely more than $100, and it was definitely not worth that much. But it was a BrickLink designer program set, so it was going to be more expensive. And as a result, the set was basically pulled, and BrickLink just was basically, okay, we're not doing that one ever again. So basically, BrickLink has now become ignorant towards the Bionicle system builds that we may want them to you know, try again and support. Kind of sounds like they're just being awful too. Well, LEGO had some influence, obviously, over the decision to basically pull this Sakota set from being, you know, turned into an actual set. Sakota brought it upon himself because of that price. So, as a result, I think Sakota released some instructions for us to build the set ourselves, but I never bothered with it because I don't care enough. That's the thing. There were fans that thought this was cool, but because it was system, no one gave a damn. No one gave 2 flying fucks because it was system. It was a system build, mostly. And people, generally, the Bionicle fandom prefers construction builds. I'm a construction builder. I don't really care for system builds myself when it comes to LEGO Bionicle. When it comes to Bionicle, not just LEGO in general, but most Bionicle fans are going to, you know, want a construction set, and construction is basically dead at this point. There are people out there that are trying to keep it alive with new colors of old parts, which is pretty cool. There's a minority of fans who will basically, you know, accept LEGO Bionicle system builds, but that's I'm part of that minority because I want to see SCCBS Bionicle, and we got that with Tahoe and Takua GWP. So it felt like, you know, Lego was like, okay, Sakota's set we're not going to do, but this GWP, yes, let's do that. It felt like that they were kind of planning ahead of time to do something with a Bionicle in the 90th anniversary fan vote. I've already spoken about that. But the BrickLink designer program set from Sakota, to be honest, we weren't going to get it anyway, because Lego would basically probably just throw it under the bus, and at the same time throw Sakota under the bus, and at the same time throw us under the bus again, because they blatantly ignore all of the fucking Lego Ideas Bionicle sets that people have submitted. And you know what's going to happen? Eventually they're going to get tired and sick of seeing all these Bionicle system sets being submitted, and they're going to basically eventually, you know, axe this thing. They're going to basically block any submissions, any Lego Bionicle, Lego Ideas sets that are going to be, you know, submitted. They're going to block all those because they're tired of it. They're sick of it. 10,000 supporters, 10,000 signatures, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many supporters the Matanui head set gets, the Toamata head set gets. They're going to ignore it. They're going to eventually block all Bionicle Lego Ideas sets from being submitted. And that is ignorant on Lego's part. It really is. And fans will be upset. Oh yeah, we'll be upset, Lego. So you better not do that. They're disrespecting us like mad, it seems. But then they expect us to shut up and buy the minifig that just came out this month of Tahu. Well, obviously I don't have the minifig, so protest, revolt, what do you want me to do, Lego? I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous. So, the BrickLink designer program set we weren't going to get. We obviously weren't going to get it. And to be honest, I feel like, you know, the sets that we do get through BrickLink are sets that are basically they're actual, you know, more appropriate for Lego to want to even consider. I know the alchemy shop thing that I talked about in the previous video, despite the subject matter, they allowed that set because it looked cool. Okay. But, you know, the sets that do go through and get enough support from Lego, at least Lego executives and the chain of command, they do get enough support for Lego to consider. And if they end up, you know, dropping it, then we don't get the set. This is what happened with Sakota's set. And they didn't, to be honest, or to be fair, Sakota was charging a ridiculous price anyway, so, at least at the time. Nowadays, it seems like, here in 2026, it seems like that price is fairly normal for Lego stuff. The problem with the BrickLink designer program is that it focuses on these builders and the respective builds that Lego would rather spend their time making and producing than anything Bionicle related. This is ignorance. It really is. Lego doesn't care about Bionicle anymore. They're only giving us this minifig because to drive, you know, get us to buy up and basically spend more money on Lego, even though some of us would rather just buy off-brands. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Or bootlegs. You know, there are bootleg sets on Amazon that are actually pretty cool. Buy those instead of Lego. You're better off. So, my point is this. Lego doesn't want to have to produce a Bionicle system set. They don't want to be forced to produce something that they know isn't going to sell. Part of that is the fault is the fans, because the fans believe that, sometimes, you know, it feels like the fans were trying to troll Lego and basically troll them into, you know, producing this set only for the fans nope, I don't actually want it. I'm going to move on and buy a Transformer or something stupid like that. Or a Nerf gun. Yeah, that's exactly what I think about it. It's ridiculous, it's ignorant on the part of the fans, but also on the part of Lego, because they brought it upon themselves for, you know, allowing Lego Ideas, Bionicle things to be created on Lego Ideas and submitted. Okay, it's not created on Lego Ideas, but it's submitted to Lego Ideas. And eventually they're going to block that because they just don't care anymore. They're losing it, really. They're losing their minds over how many Bionicle Lego Ideas sets that there are. And eventually they're just going to block them. They're just going to block those from being submitted, and that'll be the end of it. But we won't forget. We won't forget, Lego, because you're being ignorant towards our desire for Bionicle to come back in some capacity. That's what Sakota was trying to do, was bring back Bionicle in some capacity. That's what other builders were trying to do with, like, the Great Spirit Robot, the Toamata head statue. Yeah, fans are trying to bring back a Bionicle to, because you won't. Because you won't, Lego. You won't bring back Bionicle, so the fans will. And then you strike us with copyright. Yeah, that is sick and bullshit, and you need to stop. You need to stop and think and just allow the fans to have what we want. We want a new Bionicle set. This minifig is not good enough. Yes, I am going there. This minifig that you are giving us is not good enough. Not good enough. It's barely buildable. You can build it, put the little things on it and whatnot. That's all you can do. And then it sits on the shelf and collects dust. We want something that has actual substance to it. Actual, you know, textures, layers, buildable. Something that's like the Toamata head statue. That's buildable and probably out of existing parts. So you need to stop being ignorant towards towards Bionicle and towards the Bionicle fandom, and give us what we want. Obviously, they're not going to do that because they're a corporation, and corporations will give us something we don't want, and no one will buy it, and there you go. The future of Bionicle lies in the fandom. But every time a set at least attempts to get through, it automatically gets shut down because price. Because price, and price overrides passion, you know? Because Lego is driven because of money. They are driven to do what they do because of money. And they don't believe a Bionicle set through the BrickLink designer program will sell. We didn't get the Sakota set because it just wasn't going to sell. And of course, some of the fans decided to troll and be stupid. I look forward to a day where Lego realizes that they fucked up for the past 6 years and realize that, you know, this is something where they need to look at themselves and think of the bigger picture, you know? Bionicle was canned in 2010. Then it came back in 2015 only to get canceled the next year. Then we got the little googly-eyed monstrosity. Then we got the GWP. And now we got this minifig. Official sets are what Lego is about. They don't give a damn about fan builds of Bionicle stuff through Lego Ideas or Lego or the BrickLink designer program. They don't want any of that to go through. They just want something that they can do, that they can better, you know, understand, better, you know, gauge the dollar signs, basically. They want something that can sell. An antique, you know, china cabinet thing with antiques in it, with a chair and a table with books. That sells? I'd be surprised if that sold. The price is ridiculous, but still. That's another thing. You want to know why BrickLink Designer Program is flawed? Take a look at the prices. The prices are insane because it's on BrickLink. They're designed by fans, by builders that are promoted through this program, and they are given the chance to have their build be put out there and released as a set. There's a lot of parts that go into a big set, like the sushi house thing. I still love that. That's pretty freaking cool. But it's expensive as hell. Where do these prices come from? I've already explained why. Or how. At least how I think they do. You want me to explain it again? Okay. So, well, let me have some tea first. So, you want me to explain it again? You really want me to? Okay. So, basically, I believe there are saboteurs in the in Lego that have the sole purpose of bringing the company closer to bankruptcy by shitting out ridiculous, unrealistic prices and then pushing those prices past the chain of command without getting, well, I doubt they're getting the blessing of the president of Lego or whatever. Basically, the higher ups, the powers that be at Lego, allow these prices to slip through the cracks, and because, hey, money. That's more money. Yes, please give it to us. No, and so you see the ridiculous prices on Amazon, on Walmart.com, on Target.com, at the physical Lego stores. You see these prices, and you think to yourself, what? The $1,000 Death Star. I keep going back to the $1,000 Death Star, but it is true. That was brought up, that price, $1,000 for the Death Star, was brought up by the saboteurs. Because that's the quickest way to bankrupt Lego, is to give a set $1,000. Price to part ratio doesn't matter. Nope. The price to part ratio is pre-generated even before the parts enter the box. The amount of parts that are in that set, okay, I understand there's a lot of parts that go into that set, but it doesn't fucking matter. They're mostly small parts. And the Death Star itself, when complete, it doesn't even look that good. It's just another fucking dust collector of a fucking set. It's $1,000. What do you expect? What do you want me to say about that set that I haven't already? So yeah, saboteurs in LEGO, they exist. They're going to bring the company down with their prices. And you wonder why I preach against supporting LEGO anymore. Because they're doing shit like this that does not need to exist. They're giving us subpar quality sets at the ridiculous premium prices that, well, we come to expect from LEGO anymore, but it's still ridiculous. And it's no wonder it makes sense that they would do the same with these BrickLink program sets. Because the more money that goes to LEGO, the better. Apparently. At least that's what they think. So, the Bionicle brick-built sets that fans design get ignored. Blacklisted, if you will. Because, you know, they just pick out these Bionicle builds that fans keep submitting and just put an X right through all of them. And they ignore them. Because they can. Because that is what LEGO does when it comes to Bionicle anymore. Yes, there's a minifig that is out right now this month here in May. But that doesn't matter. It's not good enough. It never will be good enough. It's not going to be good enough because it's not construction. Do you see where I'm getting at? Yes, fans can do minifig Bionicles based on this minifig of Tahoe. Obviously, I don't have it right in front of me, obviously, but you can tell I'm losing my mind over this. So, to wrap things up here, the BrickLink Designer Program set is doing a bit of harm to builders, because there are builders who are being ignored, and their builds are being ignored because LEGO focus in on something that they believe is worth the time and money and effort to put on store shelves. They don't want any more Bionicle stuff on store shelves. It's just a fluke that we got this minifig, that we got the GWP, that we got the 90 Years of Play set with the Tahoe googly-eyed thing. Those are all flukes. I will go as far as to say that we got G2. It was also a fluke. It was phoned in. It was not supposed to happen at all. We were supposed to get another theme that was too ambitious, so they played it safe. Bring back Bionicle and just trash the living fuck out of it. Wow. LEGO. No. That is not what you do. You should be ashamed of yourselves, you corporate fucking cunts. They've done so much wrong. And the BrickLink Designer Program set, the BrickLink Designer Program proves this, partially. Because look at the sets that are being released this year. They chose a set called Walt, W-A-L-T, over something like, I don't even know anymore. I haven't looked at all the sets. I've looked at the 5 that are being released this year, and that's it. Because those are the ones that are relevant, at least in LEGO's eyes. They don't think Bionicle is relevant anymore. But there's this minifig, so you know what? Just forget about the minifig. Just forget about it. It's not good enough. It never will be good enough. And LEGO is doing more harm to the Bionicle community than they are doing good. I know this video wasn't supposed to be about Bionicle, but it ended up being partially about Bionicle because of the subject matter. Because of the BrickLink designer program and the set that we should have gotten. But it felt like that demand was being created for that set, even if people were not going to buy it. That is just fucking balls. Sakota fucked up with his price. Yes. But at the same time, the BrickLink designer program felt like it was being, directionary towards something, towards other developers, builders. And instead, just, hey, that's cool, we're taking that instead. Hey, that's cool, we're taking that instead. Hey, that's good, we're gonna put that out. Oh, that's a Bionicle set? No thanks. That's what it feels like. And that's basically what it feels like with Lego in general. Oh yeah, there's a Lego thing, that Bionicle Lego Ideas set. That's another X. You see what I'm saying here? G3 is never going to happen because of all of this. And they would butcher the hell out of it too. They don't want a repeat of what happened with G2 with the sales and everything else that was wrong with G2. So they're not going to bring back Bionicle as a G3. Leave that to the fans. Leave us to do Bionicle in the Bionicle community a great, we're doing our best to try to keep the legend alive. And yet when things like Lego, shuts down Mask of Power, that kills any kind of hope of me, for example, wanting to develop my own Bionicle MMORPG. Yeah, I wanted to do that. Well, now I can't because of this. Fuck you, Lego. They're dead to me. That's all there is to it. The BrickLink designer program is nothing more than a scam at this point, because if you think your set is going to make it through, think again. It's not going to make it through. Lego is going to pick something else other than yours. Yours will probably be left by the wayside, and you'll be waiting until they contact you to say, oh yeah, we're not going to do this, sorry. And that's just ignorant on their part. If they pick a set that is not Bionicle, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at all to find that your set, a Bionicle set, doesn't get picked for a full actual release. Limited release too. That's another problem with Sakota's build. It was going to have a limited number of releases. It was not going to be released at all. I don't think so. I don't think we were going to get that set, even if Lego allowed it to be released. No. Those fucking executives will just laugh it off as if Bionicle means nothing to them anymore. Makes me wonder if the original executives, back when Bionicle started, even work at Lego anymore. Or maybe they were replaced with new executives who were ignorant towards Bionicle from the beginning. And they look at it as a toxic theme that doesn't need to be on store shelves anymore. Yes, there's a minifig. Doesn't matter. Still. Lego, you fucked up so many goddamn times, and you're only going to continue to fuck up. The BrickLink Designer Program is a flawed scam of an idea. If you want to release a set, if you want, I'm talking to the builders here. If you have a build that you want to be, have released as a full set in the next series, in Series 8 of the BrickLink Designer Program, good luck, because guaranteed you won't get picked. Your set won't get picked. You're going to lose to the next one. It's quite a mess. It's just a mess. It's a full-on mess. It's a scam. It is crap. And it only makes me angry when I see a set that looks good, that looks great, but doesn't get a full release. Doesn't get a full set release. Because LEGO would focus on something like Walt, an obscure fucking character nobody gives a damn about. Yeah, they'd rather have something like that. Yes, he's cute, he's adorable, he's... Sure, okay. Cute little robot. Nice. But it's not worth the $40 fucking. You're better off selling Walt himself without the container for $15. There you go, $15. That's the best I can give you. $15 for that. Yeah, the quality is still bar none bad. Your quality, LEGO, is going down, and it's subverted expectations. The quality of their plastic is now bootleg, it seems. Yes, I'm going there. I've been there, done that. This was never meant to be a full-on rant video, but now it is. 32 plus minutes of me ranting on about the LEGO Designer Program, and LEGO, and Bionicle, and yeah. Just remember, when you want a Bionicle set, you have to look at what LEGO is currently, releasing nowadays. Look at their current statistics and the stuff that they do, and look at the expectations of folks who are examining the sets that are being released and have high expectations. Those expectations you will probably never meet. You will subvert expectations, which is kind of a good thing because, expectations, we should have our expectations lowered. We shouldn't have high expectations for something that is going to be a flawed design, or at the very best, decent. So if you're going to submit a set to the BrickLink Designer Program, make sure that it's not Bionicle, because it's not going to win. It's not going to get a release. BrickLink will just send that to LEGO, and LEGO will be like, no. Because of past history regarding LEGO and low sales. Bionicle and low sales. The past 16 years have been hell for us Bionicle fans. Some of us seem to be doing well while others aren't. Team Kanohi are now no longer Team Kanohi. They are unmasked games. They've been unmasked. And now they're doing something original. I don't think LEGO even wants them to do something original, to be honest. Anyway, what do you think about all this in the comment section below? I know this video wasn't meant to be this long, but hey, I guess I had a lot to say, and I had to repeat some information that I guess y'all forgot about. Either that, or some of you may not know or not understand. If you still don't understand, let me know in the comment section below and I'll do my best to explain in text form. So, stay tuned for more videos. I'll be back tomorrow with another 2 videos, possibly. One being on Duplo. So you'll be interested in that one, probably. Maybe. Well, whatever. Okay, so, let me know in the comment section below what you think about all this. And, yeah, I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks. Have a good fucking day, and peace.